And now UFC Hall of Famer and former light heavyweight champ Tito Ortiz says that he is ready to trade in his gloves for a badge, announcing that he plans to join the police force.
This one's going to surprise you. Winner of the week went to Tito. He was talking about going into a new profession. He was even talking about doing law enforcement, which is to protect and to serve.
How can I help the most? How can I help not just in our community, but the integrity of the officers across the United States? Because they need to be respected, because they protect and serve us.
Anybody who signs up for service during wartime and knows exactly where they're going to go, whole other level of bravado. I don't see any way to insult Tito. One of my favorite guys to insult.
I know you're going to be spending your time working in law enforcement, it sounds like, but there's also some speculation that you might fight Mike Tyson and that he's training. Is that going to happen?
I don't know. I think there's a little mistake that happened on their part. They gave me a call and asked if I'd take the fight, and I didn't even blink an eye, and I didn't even say, let me think about it. I said, yes, I'm in. And I don't think they really would think I'd have that response.
I'm here with a man that really needs no introduction because you're a legend, Tito Ortiz. Thank you for sitting down with me. I know a little bit about your story, but it really is the American dream, and it's about showing people that you can attain the American dream through hard work. What do you think is your legacy?
My legacy is if you work hard for something, you can achieve anything. Dedicate yourself 100% to something you believe in. And if you're right or wrong, no matter what, always do the honest thing. Always do the right thing. And it's important. Of my whole career, I've been through so much, so many ups and downs. I mean, I've seen the peaks of Mount Everest, and I've seen the depths of Death Valley.
What was the worst you ever hurt?
I ruptured C6, C7 in my neck, and my arms and legs went completely numb for about 2.5 minutes. So I was paralyzed for about 2.5 minutes. My body got shocked.
Ooh.
All right, so for all you guys that have watched my career, you know that I've been rattled through injury after injury, ended up getting surgery after surgery. So I got surgery to my left knee, which my first surgery was in 2003. It was pre the Ken Shamrock fight, UFC 40. They did a cadaver graft to my left knee, which meaning that they got a ACL out of a dead body, cut it out, and they replaced it into my knee. I fought 6 months later against Ken Shamrock, got my hand raised, of course. Trained for the Randy Couture fight, my lower back, L45S1, had bulge disc, one of ended up getting ruptured. I couldn't handle anymore. I mean, this is from 2003, end of 2003, all the way to 2009. I suffered every one of my fights. I could barely wrestle, I couldn't do squats, I could barely do lunging. I couldn't train the way I did when I was a champion. It was so hard to do, but with my mind, my body, just the idea of getting through this hard time, I knew I could do it. 2009, I did L45S1. They fused it. And then about 2012, I had problems with my neck. And this is from wrestling. This is strictly from college wrestling and from fighting rear naked chokes and fighting guillotines off. Doing these different things that I did through training just kind of wore down in my neck, where I had neck problems every single one of my camps. I mean, I would train for 3 days, I would take 4 days off. Train for 3 days, take 4 days off. And this is the problems that I had, but I had to get it fixed. Dr. William Smith, who was my doctor, he did L45S1 fused. I bounced back a year to date after having that surgery done. And I was having neck problems, and he came in and he told me, he's like, Tito, I think we need to fuse C6, C5. And I believed in him. There's a bone, there's a disc, there's a bone, there's a disc. It goes all the way down your spine. And in between, the disc got compressed.
This is the vertebral body. The disc is a cushion between the vertebral bodies. The spinal cord is in the middle of the spine. The disc was pushed back right into spinal cord, so he was actually having spinal cord pressure and causing some spinal cord dysfunction, including pain as well as some weakness.
And it was pushing on the nerves in my spinal cord, and my whole left arm would go numb, the side of my face would go numb, down my chest, down my back. I mean, I'd have numb pain all the time. I couldn't sleep on my left or my right side. I was tossing and turning a lot. It was miserable pain. And this is just normal everyday pain. When training came about, I had to, I had to pay the bills. I had to still compete. So I would train for 3 days, I would take 4 days off. I was up in Big Bear at the time, so the altitude helped out a lot. But like I say, I'd be in for 3 days, I'd take 4 days off. Train for 2 days, take 2 days off. Train for a day, take 2 days off. And this was for 8 weeks, 9 weeks, and I couldn't handle it anymore. I got to a point where it was just, the pain was just too much.
So what we ended up doing is going from the front, we remove the disc, to replace the disc with a polyether core that with a protein inside that allowed his own bone to fuse through it, and then put a little titanium plate on the surface of it.
I'm really, really tough, but when it comes to nerve pain, it sucks. It sucks so much now that I'm used to it. It's normal pain for me. I have a little bit achiness in my lower back or my neck. It's normal pain to me. But at the time, I didn't think how bad it would really get. So when they did fuse to my neck, what they did was they put a little metal piece, they went through the front, they opened me up, they put a metal piece, and they put 2 bolts going one way and 2 bolts going another. And it's just like a latch.
Here's where the disc used to be. These little lines or little titanium marker tells us where that implant is. What we can see nicely, there's actually a nice solid sheet of bone behind it. You can see a nice solid white sheet of bone in front of it. Starting to actually fill bone right up inside of there. And then this is the titanium plate where there's 2 screws there, 2 screws there that'll allow for stability as this bones heal. So he's got excellent alignment now of the spine, nice and straight up and down here. And I think that in another 2 or 3 months that'll be just a complete solid sheet of bone. So it's very nice and solid now. The pressure's off the spinal cord, and I'm expecting to have a complete and total recovery.
They spun the stem cells from my blood. They squirted in there with a protein to make it grow faster and heal the right way. And Dr. William Smith, I think he did an amazing job. But this was one of the surgeries that it was really, really hard for me because I had to walk around for a month with a neck brace on.
My pain is gone. No more numbness in my hand.
I mean, literally walk around with the neck brace on for a month is miserable. And the shitty thing of all of that is I had to do it right after The Ultimate Fighter. This is the reason why on The Ultimate Fighter season 11, I could compete against Chuck Liddell. They had to fuse my neck. I remember I was training with the guys in The Ultimate Fighter, and we take our little lunch breaks. I went back to the house to take a little nap, and I went to go get up, and I couldn't get up. And I remember telling Rob McCullough, bro, there's something wrong with me. I can't get up. He said, what do you mean you can't get up? I can't feel my legs, can't feel my arms, I can't get up. And I remember going to the doctor, Will Smith, and he goes, yeah, Tito, you have a ruptured disc in your neck. And it scared the shit out of me. I was like, holy shit. I remember going to Dana and telling Dana, and Dana's like, we're gonna have to get one of our doctors to look at it to make sure that your doctor's correct. And it was correct. There was a ruptured disc. Dana pulled me out of The Ultimate Fighter. He said, we're gonna pull you out and I'm gonna put in Rich Franklin. I was like, man, we're at the end of the season. There's a week left and you're gonna take me away from my guys? That's not a right thing to do. But I think they carried their manners totally wrong. They treated me completely bad. Was I scared prior to getting neck surgery? Yes, very, very afraid, very afraid.
I'm scared, but Dr. Smith is a great doctor and he does great surgeries, and my lower back was hard, but I got through it.
I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. I have a chance of going paralyzed, have a chance of never competing ever again.
This will be the beginning of the last of my neck pain. I have no more neck pain, and no more headaches, no more numbness going down my arms, and I'll be able to train because I was having problems wrestling and hitting mitts and getting punched in the head.
But with my back surgery, after I had that done, I felt invincible. Didn't matter what type of surgery it was, I know I can get through it. I believed in my doctor, I believed in myself, I believed in my physical therapist, Joe at Pro Sport.
What can I do? You know, got to get the surgery done. That way so I can get back and fight again.
It was something that I did everything I needed to do to make the pain go away. And for that moment of time after the surgery was done, when I remember walking out and I was like, wow, I don't have any more shoulder pain. I don't have any more neck pain. My neck doesn't hurt anymore. Let me tell you, I was like, I can do this again, I can do this again. It took me about 6 months to recover from it. So for the first time, I actually was able to bring a camera into one of my surgeries. And Kenny Knoll was able to get his camera used. Valerie, Dr. William Smith's assistant, shot all the video.
And let you know this is Valerie. This is the girl who takes care of everything. You videotaped it, right?
I did.
Bam. So when you guys see that video of the screws being drilled in, yeah, those are the screws that were being drilled in.
And you can see at this point of Dr. Smith getting as much energy as possible to screw the screws in my neck. And you could hear the screws being screwed in. I was under for an hour and 45 minutes, but this surgery was one of the ones that you kind of take a step back and realize I'm willing to give everything for the sport, willing to give everything for my career. And this was just another roadblock that I had to bust through. So when they did the surgery, they actually went through the front. They sliced it right here. And like I say, I've had 4 neck surgeries already, but they went into the front and it took a good year for the scar to be gone completely. But the healing process was amazing. You know, I healed really fast. My body heals really fast normally. So I know having surgeries is scary. I've had 8 of them and they get easier, but I think it's easier because I prepare for them mentally, physically. You know, I do little light workouts before the surgeries just to, you know, it may be hard to do them, but I do it just to get my body in shape. And really important is making sure you find the right doctor, ask a lot of questions, do your research, do your homework, just like you'd be doing a big essay or a big test or, you know, a final. How you want to get an A on that, right? Well, this is your body. This is what you got to live for the rest of your life with. Anything's possible to do. You just got to believe in it. Eat healthy, have a positive environment around you, mentally and physically, and you can get through anything. So if anybody out there who needs surgery, and you do have questions, post on something below. I'll answer your questions for you. I hope you liked me going over my surgeries because they were painful as hell. But hit the subscribe button and notification for all future episodes of Tito Ortiz Uncaged.